Scary. So today we're gonna take a look at NECA's Iron Maiden Future Past World Tour 2-pack. This is based off of Iron Maiden's current tour of 2024, their mascot, I guess. And that's all I know about what's going on with this tour. I'm not really an Iron Maiden fan. I just really like the way this figure looks, or these figures look, because it has a very cool aesthetic about them, especially this Eddie. I think NECA released this Eddie before here. One was a 7-inch one, and another one was an 18-inch one. Both is known for NECA's holy grails, I guess. Those two figures, those are really hard to get, and if you do get them, you'll have to pay through the ass to get them. So this is a 2-pack because 2 characters. I guess these are 2 Eddies, right? So I guess they're based off of 2 different albums. And if you open the packaging, you could see the 2 Eddies, the Senjutsu Eddie and the Somewhere in Time Eddie. So upon my research, this is based off their 80s album, and this is based off the 2021 album. Again, I'm not really an Iron Maiden fan. I just really like the way these guys look. And honestly, I haven't bought anything from NECA in a long while. This is my first purchase in a while from them, honestly. I haven't bought anything NECA. I do have some Iron Maiden figures from them somewhere here. Other than that, I haven't really bought anything from that company in a long time. So I'm glad they're doing something different from, 80s horror and Ninja Turtles. So with that being said, let's take a look at these 2 freaks. And here are the 2 Eddies from the 2-pack. Let's see if I can focus a bit better there. So yeah, this guy reminds me of the Spawn Samurai series back in the day. And this is the future Cyborg Eddie, which I really like. I did way back in the day. I used to try and look for this Eddie NECA made, but I don't know, the price just kept going up and up, so I just kind of gave up on that. But now I have him. This time, better articulated and with better joints. So with that being said, let's take a gander at these 2 very scary mascots. And here's a closer look at the 2 Eddies. The samurai one and the cyborg 80s one. Now his weapons here are attached to him with a wire, so I can't really detach it. Where does that wire go? Oh, it goes to his hip, to the gun, so it's connected. I'll do close-ups later. Yeah, so this is a close-up of the 2 Eddies. And with that being said, let's see the accessories these guys come with. Shoulder armor, another shoulder armor, helmet, sword, knife, flaming sword, scabbard, sword handle, knife handle, head sculpt, a big gun, hand. And this is what the Iron Maiden 2-pack comes with, minus the guns because, again, it's attached to Eddie's body, so yeah, with that being said, let's take a look at Senjutsu's helmet. I think that's what his name is. So you can see there's like blood. Nice detailing. Looks like it's patinaed really well. Got some dings and all that. Yeah, so this is his little samurai's helmet. Next up we have, I guess, the head sculpt. So this is the extra head sculpt you get, because I think there was two album versions of this guy. Let's see if I can do a comparison. Whoop. So this is basically him smiling and him yelling at you, I guess. So these are the two head sculpts you get. Kind of looks like a vampire, more like a demon. I don't know. Is there a lore behind this guy? So at least you get that. Then you get his two shoulder armors. This does come, how do you say, on him, but you can detach it off. You can detach these off of him. I found that the weird way because I was posing him and it just fell off, but yeah, you have the option of having him with or without these shoulder armor plates. There's no peg, it just warps around his arm. So you have that option. And next up you have his fiery katana. It's nicely painted. Because NECA always has good quality in terms of paint. But in terms of material, it's kind of so-so. I don't know if they improve nowadays, but all my NECA figures now are like snapping off and their joints are just brittle now. Next up we have his bloody katana. Wish there was like some like dripping effect here, like what they did with the flame, but with blood. That would have been cool. Oh well. So you have that, then you have his scabbard, which is weird because you can't really, how do you say, insert this blade into this scabbard. And it does have a nub here, so it stops at the belt. So what you do is you take this extra samurai handle here, samurai sword handle, and you just plug it in here. And then, yeah, I guess that's okay. I get it. I think I know why, because to avoid breakage, because that's a very thin piece of plastic, and this does help prevent breakage. So that's kind of smart. So you have that. Then you have his little knife. Again, a bloody knife. Now there is a scabbard on the figure, but again, you can't really insert this into that scabbard. You have this knife handle here. I'll show you guys later. It's just, you know, you just plug it in, it's good to go. Then next up we have the future Eddie's gun, the futuristic gun. Sadly, there's no blast effects. I have a clip here. There's no trigger as well. It's nicely made, nicely, how do you say, sculpted. It has that real 80s look to it. Chonky, very angular. So yeah. And lastly, you have these bunch of hands. So let's just go through them real quick. So these are the sword hands, sword holding hands, or yeah, just sword holding hands. There's very long nails. Very freaky looking. Then we have two gesturing hands, which is unique. So we have the rock hand, I guess, rock and roll hand. Then you have the fuck you hand. He flips you off. So we have two gesturing hands. And then finally, you have another gesturing hand, but this one he's pointing. Like he's coming after you or something. you're next. Then Eddie's hands are basically identical. He doesn't really have any gesturing hands, sadly. So you have I guess the gun holding hands. So it's very fleshy, very like meaty, I guess. No skin and all. Then you have I think the holstering. It's like a holster type deal hands, like he's ready to whip out the gun. If that makes sense. And then finally, you have relaxed hands, I guess. Sculpted differently. So yeah, that's it. So with that being said, let's see how these guys look with all this junk on them. And here are the two Eddies all loaded up with their accessories. And yeah, these guys are fun. I especially like the Senjutsu Eddie. I don't know why. Something about this guy I really like. Kind of reminds me of the old school Spawn samurais that I used to collect back in the day. And this future Eddie as well I really liked. Kind of gives me the nostalgia vibes of going through eBay and trying to find this Eddie and failing horribly. But yeah, this is how I'm going to pose them in my NECA collection, which I haven't really shown you guys in a long while because I haven't really been collecting NECA, honestly. Yeah, look at the gold on that. It's insane. The detailing. NECA always scores when it comes to detailing and painting. The only thing I don't like is just the IPs they get that they do, like turtles and I don't know. Seems like they could do more with what they have, but they chose to do more 80s cartoons and stuff like that. Oh well. So with that being said, let's take a closer gander at these two guys. And here's a closer look at this Senjutsu Eddie. So you can see detailing, all that, the demonic face. Now I did put the knife on his shoulder there because I like to load up my figures as much as possible. I put the sword handles as well into their scabbards. If anybody knows what this symbol means, let me know. And yeah, overall, even though the paintwork is a bit splotchy here and there, it kind of works for this figure. And moving on to the future Eddie here is his face without skin, I presume. So you can see where the guns are attached to his hips there. It's got a radioactive crotch. Again, if there's lore with these guys, I don't really know. If there's a story, please let me know in the comments. Even their toes are nicely detailed. Look at that. Again, that's where the gun is attached to. You can see the ghibli bits on his visor skull thing. And you can see the detail on his back. And yeah, that's about it really. This is the Iron Maiden Future Past World Tour concert mascots, I guess. And with that being said, let's try and find a place for them in my NECA collection. And this is basically where I'll stick these two figures for now. I'm kind of maxed out, honestly. Don't have any more room for new NECA figures. So yeah, that's about it. If you guys know any lore pertaining to these two mascots, I guess, let me know. And with that being said, thanks for watching. And as always, go get 'em.